Hello my beautiful love goods and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am building another tiny house. What else is new? But yeah, I am building a little, I'm calling it a modern bohemian tiny house because I'm not sure what else to call it, to be honest. But it has some bohemian elements, it has some modern elements, or at least it seems a bit more modern. I don't really know. I'm terrible at naming my builds, but hey, it's a really hella cute house and I'm like super into it. Okay, I love it so much. But yeah, I didn't use any custom content with this build whatsoever, and you can also find it on the gallery by searching my username lukeydean and the hashtag Lukey, and you will find it and everything. But yeah, some people said that they've been having trouble finding me on the gallery. I don't really know why. I mean, be sure, maybe check and like make sure that allow custom content is checked. Maybe, I don't really know. Maybe that's something. Yeah, I need to look into that. I just haven't really been on the gallery at all lately. So, yeah, but anyway, this tiny house, it's a pretty small tiny house, honestly. It is only 3 blocks wide and 7 blocks long on the bottom floor, and then 4? Yeah, 4 blocks long on the top part. So, the top part meaning the second floor, meaning the loft, meaning the bedroom. But yeah, I really had fun building this because I mixed some things together that I hadn't really mixed together before in my builds, or at least I haven't done it for a while, like this paneling from Get Together. I actually love that paneling so much. I don't use it enough. It's so pretty, and just like I love all the nuances of color that it has. Like it's all different, so it really like just blends well with everything else. I don't know, but yeah, and there is a double bed upstairs. I don't necessarily know if 2 Sims can use it. I don't even know if 1 Sim can use it, actually, because I forgot to player test it again. Hello, what else is new? But yeah, if you download this and it doesn't work, you can easily just place a single bed upstairs and it'll be perfect for 1 Sim. So yeah, but I love this house so much because I did a lot of cluttering and I have kind of grown obsessed with clutter ever since I downloaded that shelf that I've been talking about in every single video recently. It's a custom content shelf that has like, it says it has like 200 slots on it for placing items, and you can place pretty much anything on there that certain shelves don't allow you to place. So and you saw me using it just now with that plant on that step, which I do remove this step in a bit and I add in a very open like front deck. I really like how it looks, honestly, after that. I was watching a tiny house tour that in which the lady had a very pretty tiny house. Like, oh my gosh, it was like so gorgeous inside. It was like so rustic and reclaimed, and everything was like, it was kind of boho. Like it was a little bit inspirational for this, but it had a front deck that was like completely open without any cover or anything, and it just seemed so airy and just so simple and pretty. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot lately. I've been watching a lot of tiny house tours on YouTube, and it's just been really, really fun, like getting ideas from like actual real life tiny houses, because with my builds, I don't really try to do like houses where it's like supposed to be using as little space as possible as like a challenge for the game. I'm actually building tiny houses. Like tiny houses in real life are houses that are built on like tractor trailer beds, basically, not beds, but like tractor trailers that they build a house on and they pull it along, and that's what a tiny house is. And I definitely want to do one in the future, like for myself, like in real life one day. That would be so fun. I really don't know the first thing about building. I'm not very like knowledgeable about that. But hey, I mean, maybe one day if I ever do it, I do have family members that are pretty good at that stuff. So, maybe I can like con them into helping me out and be like, but you love me. I'm like, the good kid, remember? I don't know. But it would be a really fun experience, I think, to build my own tiny house. It would be it would be a learning experience for sure, but it would also be just really great because the tiny house movement is something that I'm like super obsessed with anyway, because tiny houses are freaking just cool, like concept wise, because I love designing them and like everything, but also like for real, it's like super inexpensive in comparison to like full houses. You don't have to worry about a mortgage. You don't have to worry about a high carbon footprint. The fact is that you use very little power. You're a lot more aware of how much you use as well, because it's a tiny house, and like there are things that you have to do to kind of watch how much, like water usage, power usage. Some people even go for a composting toilet in their tiny houses, which I actually remember, and this is a family member I haven't actually spoken to for a very long time, but I had a family member who had a tiny house that, it wasn't like a tiny house that was like on a tractor trailer or anything. But it was still the concept of a tiny house, because they had like a loft with their bed in it. They had like a tiny little kitchen, a tiny little living space, and a teeny tiny little bathroom with a composting toilet. And I just thought that was so cool. And it was like, you don't have to worry about water usage and that. So I don't know. Some people might not think that that's cool, or some people might think that that is kind of gross, but it really isn't. And I definitely want to give it a try. Like in general, just living in a tiny house and everything. But yeah, some tiny houses, they build it for like super cheap. Sometimes I've seen people spend like a lot of money on tiny houses, which I don't really see the point in. But at the same time, if they want to spend extra money and have like some other luxuries in that tiny house, I kind of understand it, because at least they still don't have a mortgage at the end of the day. So, yeah. But anyway, I've rambled on about that. See, I'm such a tiny house nerd. Like I could go on forever about it, but yeah, I love this house though, because it's very, I don't really know. I don't really know if you would call it modern or bohemian, but I really, really like it a lot. I love the mixture of like the blue with the like wooden tones. It just kind of, that soft blue with that rich orangey wood is just like really nice to look at for me. I particularly love the kitchen because I used that orange swatch on that kitchen sink. It took me a second to remember that word. But yeah, it looks like a copper sink, and in real life, I would love to have like a hammered copper sink for like a bathroom or something, because that just looks so like, it looks bougie but also rustic at the same time. So yeah. But also on this build, I used the swatch of a lot of the items from Seasons that has that like rich orangey, like deep saturated color wood. And I don't really ever use that very much, because I find it hard to match things to that sometimes. But in this house, it worked so well. Like this house just seems like it has so much character and fun. Like I'm so into it. Like this is like definitely a tiny house that I wouldn't mind living in myself. Like it's so nice. I love it. And the desk I just kind of threw in because I was like, I just want a different colored desk. And I like this for some reason. Like it's not really modern or bohemian, but it works. I don't know. It's just, this house is a very, very like eclectic mix of items. So yeah, it's an interesting home, but I am obsessed with it. So yeah, but anyway, would you all like to live in a tiny house? Have you all like ever considered it? Have you all ever thought about it? Do let me know. What would be your like dream tiny house? Like what would be the idea of it? Like I know that I would want like really dark colored floors, like a deep colored wooden floor. I would love like lots of white walls with that's like shiplap or something. Maybe not real shiplap because wood is heavy, and you want your tiny house to be as light as possible. I I would also want some kind of like a hammered copper sink would be beautiful. I would want for sure a Smeg, at least a small Smeg fridge. It's like a vintage looking fridge. They're expensive as heck, but they're cute as heck, so it's worth it. I would also make sure to have lots of planter boxes, whether they're attached to the house or they're like portable in some way. Just because I love the idea of like growing my own things for myself. I don't know, like these plants in the kitchen, for example. I kind of imagine that these little plants from Dine Out are like herbs or something. I kind of am obsessed with them now. Like I've been using them in my builds a lot more lately. Like they're so cute, especially that swatch. It looks like a clay pot or something. I don't know. But yeah, I also would love to have a loft too. But also this is like kind of stretching it for tiny houses because that they can be a little bit big if you do this. But like, I would also want like a small little space downstairs that's like kind of separate. Like I've seen tiny houses where they'll have like their stairs and like the stairs lead up to the second floor, but then there's also beneath that second floor, there's like an office that's like, it's like lower ceilinged. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like a kind of like cozy little office. I don't know. I'd like to have something like that too. That would be great. Like, oh my gosh, just imagine having like a small little enclosed little office like that, and it's like padded and you've got like stuff in there, and it just, the acoustics would be perfect because it would like be like no noise. I don't know. I'm just thinking about a lot of things because I record voiceovers all the time. So it would be super awesome to have something like that. But yeah, I don't really know. I haven't really ever built like a true dream tiny house for myself because I feel like every single tiny house that I build, I kind of want for myself, because like I love so many styles. Like I love modern styles, I love contemporary, I love rustic, I love boho, I love like witchy vibes, I love like super, clean and simple, and I love like super elaborate and cluttered. I can't really seem to figure out what I would want in a tiny house for myself because I have so many I have so many passions about tiny house. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I like a lot of things. So yeah, but yeah, just do let me know what you would want in a tiny house yourself if you were going to build one. I would definitely want a lot of windows as well because I love having a lot of light because gloominess and darkness are kind of depressing. So yeah, but anyway, here's the loft. I don't know if your Sims can use that bed necessarily, but if they can't, then you can just kind of move it out of the house and just kind of put a little single bed in. Oh, that was a weird noise. But I just had a thought in my head. I remember seeing some time ago, actually, another fellow YouTube simmer builder person who I adore, Simproved. She also has like a series where she did micro homes on her channel, and she did a micro house once where she used 2 single beds and like kind of crammed them together, and it worked. So maybe that would work more because it would probably take up a lot less space. I didn't think of that, but hey, at least this looks cute. That bed I haven't really used before, and I was like, what, it's orange, it could kind of work, and it did. And it kind of worked with that rug from the Vampire Game Pack. Yeah, it's from the Vampire Game Pack. It's very boho and like kind of used, and I kind of love it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it about this build, though. I just kind of finish it out with a little bit of clutter and some other things on the exterior. I think I can't really remember, but yeah, I'm really like enjoying the tiny house builds lately, y'all. I'm kind of obsessed again, which I'm always obsessed, but like I'm like extra obsessed right now. But anyway, I just wanted to say really, really quickly though, thank you all so much for 17,000 subscribers. We're already getting super close to 18. I'm so grateful. I just can't put it to words how amazing this is. Like just thank you all so much. It's a lot. It means so much to me right now because I definitely need the support. I need something other than, staring at a wall because I don't have a job yet, because it's hard to find a job in a tiny town like this. But hey, I'm getting somewhere. But yeah, just it's super amazing that you all are here, and I just want to say thank you. But yeah, and continue to leave your build suggestions as well. I tend to kind of build whatever I want when I want anymore, but it's also nice to see some suggestions and some ideas, because y'all are smart. Like, y'all have some really cool ideas. So yeah, leave them in the comments down below, and also leave your your dream tiny house ideas below, because yeah. Oh, honey, I didn't even know this picnic table existed, okay? I didn't even know we had this in the game. Like, the holiday thing, the holiday pack, the free one, it got updated, and apparently this was part of it. I didn't even know. That looks hella cute. I'm going to be using that all the time. It's so perfect. But anyway, be sure to check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support the channel by leaving a tip there. It's like a tip jar, basically, and it's like super helpful. And thank you all so much for the support there. And if you would like to also support the channel in a small way, you can check out my Instant Gaming link. Instant Gaming is a website where you can buy game codes at a discount. It's pretty legitimate. It's really cool. And if you use my link down below, I get a tiny little kickback, a little percentage, and I've actually kind of built up quite a lot of like funds on there. So, I'll be able to buy a pack that comes out in the future, or what have you. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's super helpful. And yeah, and just FYI, all the Sims 4 expansion packs are like super cheap right now. Like, some of them are $15, which is a steal, honey. Like, oh girl, it's a steal, honey. And I just hit my desk real hard. I hope you all didn't hear that. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the nargles.
Come to shine when it's dark from so far away. Show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder.